Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.
Coming to Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So let me grab my grape soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Thanks for joining us for another All Over the Road New Orleans. This week, it's a best of past interviews and segments you may have missed on All Over the Road New Orleans.
Now, you got the article in front of you. This was an open letter, all right, to the mayor.
Addressed to Mayor Cantrell.
And you want to give us some highlights from that, Ted?
Sure. Like Vic said, this guy, David Webb, he visited New Orleans with his son, who's plays baseball, like Little League thing. And they had some tournaments around town and around New Orleans. And he had been to New Orleans a few times in the past, but it's been 10 years. He had these tournaments at, is it Avenger or Avenger Field? If you're familiar with that, maybe at UNO, Ballard Chase High School, some other places. He says personally, since childhood, he's loved New Orleans. He's been here many times. Well, while visiting this weekend, which was a couple weekends ago, it was his intent to carve out some time to see the normal historic downtown hot spots that, people would recognize, of course, Cafe du Monde and the river front, river boats, and stuff like that.
The French Market was one thing he mentioned,
French Market. He goes, but he says he was very let down by the whole thing. And the title is the city of New Orleans. It's called Your City Has Lost Its Way.
I'm with Ted Semper, who you spoke to earlier.
Hey, David.
Hey, what's up, Ted?
All right, how are you?
We're recording a podcast right now, and we really do appreciate you letting us talk to you about this open letter you wrote to the mayor. We just covered some of the points. First of all, I wanted to give you a little round of applause and welcome you to this show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
This is our third season. It's called All Over the Road New Orleans. We have our executive producer, Nick Vogel, here, Ted, who you know, and a very special guest who's on the show from time to time. His name is Derek. He's on the TV show Selling the Big Easy on HGTV. Have you ever heard of that TV show?
I have.
Okay,
There you go.
Derek's the guy that shows a lot of red chest hairs. Yeah, but that's him.
So, David, you're in Mobile, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And so your son had a baseball tournament here?
Yeah, he's in a travel ball organization, and we had a whole weekend planned over there. Had a game Friday night, a couple games Saturday, and a game on Sunday. So
did you play at that facility over there off of Hayne Boulevard, the Major League Baseball complex?
No, we played at a place called Avenger Field. It's right by a hospital because the emergency helicopter kept coming and going and landing on top of the building. That was the craziest baseball field I've ever seen, but it was good. It was a turf field. We loved it.
Oh, good.
The hospital might have been there first.
How did the team did well, I hope?
Yeah, we did good. We sure did.
Good. Because I follow a lot of travel ball around here, so I know I've been to most of the places. Okay. So, you want to do this open letter to the mayor. So tell me how all that came about and how you came to that conclusion that you needed to do this.
Well, it's kind of a culmination of a few things. When we got into New Orleans Friday afternoon and we went to the ballpark, got done with our game, and we headed back to the hotel. Mm-hmm. So, we get there. We hadn't checked in yet. It's late, like 9:30. And it's time to get something to eat, man. We're just starving. There's a Domino's probably 6 blocks away, close to Bourbon Street, on the other side. So we decided that, we're just going to walk down there and order pizza and wait for it and bring it back to the hotel room.
Mistake.
And man, holy crap. We were just walking down, and man, there were people smoking pot left and right. And I just, I wasn't used to that because you read the letter. I've been to New Orleans countless times, man. As a kid and in high school, we partied there, college, partied there, had a good old time. I never saw the kind of stuff that I saw on Canal Street. And I'm not lying to you. There were people that were smoking joints. There were people in the dark crevices of open doorways to abandoned buildings to my right, lighting up bonds, just all huddled together. And then you'd see tourists. They're tourists because they're young. And they're over there, smoking a joint out in the open. Like, it's no big deal, just unfettered, just whatever they wanted to do. And I was like, I was telling my son, Charleston, he's 16 years old. He knows what pot is.
Sure.
But it's like, man, this is crazy, son. I've never seen this before. Let's just, keep on walking. We got the Domino's, we got our pizza, and we started walking back. And it's the exact same thing. Same people. So we got back to the hotel room, and to be honest with you, I was kind of put off. It's like, okay, well, it's New Orleans.
Oh, you speaking my language now. Yeah. They say, talk to me, baby. Yes.
Hi, this is Vina Nguyen, candidate for New Orleans mayor. You're invited to join me at the Save Our City rally this Wednesday, October 13th. It all takes place at Peristyle and City Park, starting at 5 p.m. Join the movement and let's take our city back.
Cantrell, you gotta go. You got a resting bitch face. You bad, Bill. We need a pretty mayor, baby. We want you out.
It's a best of all over the road, New Orleans.
NOLA Gold plays in is like the NFL of professional rugby in the United States. And when we talk to Carl, who we're going to call here in a second, who's on the team.
He's the center.
He's the center, which I don't know whether the fact that he's in the center.
Well, does he hike the ball like a football center, or is he like a hockey center?
I don't think there's any hiking or...
No, there is hiking.
Is there?
There's hiking, isn't there, Nick, in rugby? Don't they hike?
They snap it behind them, but not through their legs. They every throw.
There is punting.
Yeah.
See, but these are questions we have to ask Carl.
Well, I know, but rugby's not like football. No rugby guy is going to stick his hands between some guy's legs. I'm telling you.
No, there's no
rugby
way.
Guys, they don't do that.
No.
Rugby guys are tough guys.
You better have shoulders like a well-built highway. You trying to play rugby football.
They are tough guys. And you know what? I immediately noticed at this NOLA Gold match that I went to, which was about a month ago now, they don't wear any pads.
No.
There's no padding. No. And they have shorts.
Short shorts.
And short shorts. Really.
Yeah, they do.
High socks. And a shirt, rugby shirt. Nice looking uniforms,
High socks, like my grandson, Teddy.
Yeah, but no pads. No, shin pads, knee pads, shoulder pads, the rib cage pads.
No mini pads, no maxi pads.
Yeah. No pads.
None of those pads. They get in the way.
If you are going to try to play rugby, do a lot of shrugs in the gym before you go to a field. Your spine, your shoulders, your collarbone, your vertebrae ain't built for this kind of intensity. I promise you.
Let's give Carl a call. Carl Meyer. Like we said, he plays center for the NOLA Gold.
Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, how you doing?
Carl Meyer, a New Orleans icon as a center of our very own.
That's right.
New Orleans Gold.
We just made you an icon. You like that?
Made you an icon.
I like that,
That's got to make you feel pretty good.
I can't complain with that at all. I'm smiling from year to year.
How long you been in New Orleans, Carl?
It's coming on 2 years now.
Well, we want to get into it with you, and maybe you can educate us a little bit, because we have a lot of questions.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of questions. We want to hear your story
about
first.
The game of rugby. But I just want to tell you, this is Ted, and Nick is our executive producer.
Say hello, Nick.
Hey, Carl.
Did you
Hey,
hear?
man, how you doing?
Okay.
And then
Glad to have you on the show.
And then Vic, who's the host and better known as the king of all podcasting. That's Vic right there. Say hi, Vic.
Hi, Vic.
There you go. Now,
Now, I once was recruited to play rugby, and I didn't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was. There was like a club team at Audubon Park, and they recruit people. They still play at Audubon Park all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
different.
That's
this guy's like, he's in the NFL.
This is like we were saying.
Yep.
And Carl, you feel free to correct us at any time because you're the player. Okay, you're the expert. You know the game.
All right, before you do that, I want to hear Carl's story. How do you got it? How you started playing rugby?
Yeah.
Where you grew up? Give us your story, okay?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in a small town, Pietermaritzburg in South Africa. I kind of grew up from when I can remember when I was a little kid. Rugby is really a big sport in South Africa, and I think it's quite similar to, I would say, here, where as soon as you can start walking here in America, you get given a football. In South Africa, you kind of get given a rugby ball. So,
well, what about cricket? South Africa, don't they do cricket in South Africa?
Yes, that is true.
Okay,
we're really good cricket team.
That's right.
I played a bit of cricket in school, and then I decided just to solely focus on rugby. Ever since I was a little kid, my dream was just to play professional rugby, and thought it would be a lot easier getting there than what it actually was. But it was an awesome journey from going from primary school to high school, and then not really getting the opportunity I was looking for in South Africa, and had to find a way. Ended up making my professional debut then. So it was quite a long journey to get to where I am, but I'm grateful that it was. I'm hoping that by telling sort of my story that I can help youngsters and stuff who don't really initially get the opportunities like most do. If they just keep plugging away and keep fighting for what they're passionate about and what they love to do, that they can make it happen if they just keep their head down and work hard.
So now, was there anybody in your family or anybody you looked up to that had you, really setting your eyes on rugby, Carl?
No, my mom was a really good sportsman. She played basketball back in the day, and my dad played a bit of rugby back in the day, but it was all just from schooling. I think I just took a knack to rugby. I just really enjoyed it. I loved always just playing games with my friends, and it just kind of stuck with me from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, one question that I got, I think that is, so do you think, now you played rugby in South Africa, and you said, this was a way for you to play professionally. So are you saying that the leagues in South Africa is better than this league you're playing in?
I think the MLR is definitely right up there. I think, obviously, the league in South Africa has been established a lot longer, and obviously rugby is second nature in South Africa, whereas I think in America it's busy growing at a rapid rate, and I think it's been around, I think, for a while, if I'm not mistaken, but it just hasn't had this kind of sort of publicity and professionalism, I would say. But coming over and playing over here, definitely the physicality, speed of play, it's all pretty much right up there as it is. So I think that the league and what it's done in the space of 4 years has come a huge way, and I think it's very competitive compared to everywhere else.
So the league itself is only 4 years old?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is, if I'm not mistaken, it's fourth year.
Yeah.
How many teams are in the league?
We've got 12 teams in the league at the moment.
All right.
So you've played for...
It started, I think, at 7 to 9 and now to 12.
Uh-huh. But was the New Orleans team in New Orleans prior to that?
Yeah, they played at Shaw High School is where they used to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know if we mentioned...
That's where they started off, for sure.
And now they play at the Shrine on where the Baby Cakes and Zephyrs played.
I mean, I'll go to a game on Airline. I wasn't going to Shaw High School to see a game.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, my nephew's really into rugby.
Yeah.
Really into it. He played a lot of rugby, and he was saying, he's always talking about rugby.
Yeah.
I said, look, these rugby guys ain't going to catch an 80-yard touchdown pass and tiptoe into the end zone. I mean, it's just a different game. It's a whole different game. Right. I understand it's a tough game.
Yeah.
So how many guys? I got all kinds of questions. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Really, Carl?
Yeah. Fire away.
All right. Now, because we're going to get into short shorts and everything. We're going to get into all that stuff. Okay.
When you look at rugby on TV, it does not look that difficult to play. You toss the ball this way, you grab the ball, you run. This ball is like holding a VCR. And these strong Australian, New Zealand, English type dudes be tossing it like it's a water. It ain't that easy.
Ted, I think Steam is beginning to pick up with the listener line.
You feel it?
I do.
Yeah, good.
Especially since you put the correct number on the website.
It did help dramatically to actually have the correct number posted. Yes, it did.
And that was designed to do what, Nick?
To drive people to call in and leave a message and get us to do either something or just ask us a question, anything that's on their mind. They can drop by anytime.
And we want to hear their what, Ted?
Their stories.
We want to hear their stories. This is what we promised you in season 2023. More stories, more stories, more stories. And one other thing, much cleaner underwear.
601
Route 66 768 8366.
That's it.
That's the one. That's the correct number.
Well, I went to see my baby last night. She started kissing me and squeezing me and holding me tight. I said, take it easy, Christian.
This is a best of all over the road New Orleans. Past interviews and segments you may have missed.
Yes, sir.
Scott McKay, ladies and gentlemen, from Louisiana. Hayride.
All right. Scott, how you been?
Not too bad. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
We're doing good. You know, we had John last year before the election, and we know about your movement and everything. So, I have one question for you now, and that is this. Now, what do we do?
I don't want to say hell if I know, because that's a little dour for Friday. But well,
Scott, what do we do?
Well, if you're in oil and gas, I have no advice for you.
Get out of it.
Everything is bad.
I'm not in that. Although I have gas,
so
but that's it.
Well, I mean, the whole country may have gas before it's all said and done. But I mean, you batten down the hatches, and there's an election in 2022, and I think Republicans really need to win something in 2022 because, I don't think Democrats, the way they are right now with this much power, is good at all.
Mm-hmm.
And everything needs to be done at the state and local level, I guess. It's important to have, local folks who are willing to stand up to the feds. And, we got to hold the local guys accountable to do just that.
Well, you know what? They're still going to try to do the Olympics this year. I don't know if you heard about that. And I understand that there's about 50 men running in the women's category.
50?
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's like 50 men.
Wow.
Running in the women's category.
Well,
So now, Scott, what do we do?
I don't think it's much of an Olympics if it's it's men and like men who aren't all that good. As if like that's
so what do we do?
Those are the categories: is men and like beta males or something.
Well, my granddaughter can run faster than me, so that'll tell you something right there. So now, so what is the Hayride actively doing?
Well, I mean, we've got a legislative session coming up in Louisiana, and so we're going to spend a whole lot of time talking about that.
What about that Cassidy? What about that Cassidy?
Yeah, what do we do with this?
What about this guy Cassidy?
Jeez.
There's nothing you can do with Cassidy.
Speaking of beta males,
I hate to say it, there is nothing you can do with Cassidy. Cassidy got reelected in November.
Yeah, he's like
there until 2026.
Yeah, 6 years.
I know, but someone's got to have some video on Cassidy.
Got to have something.
Well, I mean, you got all these people who are, Cassidy needs to resign. I'm like, you do realize that if Cassidy goes, then John Bell Edwards gets to appoint his replacement until like the next time there's an election. Jeez. John Bell Edwards is going to appoint himself if that were to happen.
Right. If I didn't have a checkered past, I'd run myself. I really would. But they're going to do a background check on me.
It really just kind of depends on what kind of checkered past you're talking about, because some of the things are sellable now.
Oh, really? Okay. Some of my stuff are sellable.
Called the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it.
There was a dude in a dress.
Should I call you mister?
Getting confirmed by the Senate, like in a hearing yesterday.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And I'm like,
why are you gay?
Okay, well, I guess that opens the floor for all kinds of people to get involved in public office that, we're like, oh, no, if they ever find out about this.
Who says I'm gay?
And it's like, how bad can it be before it destroys any kind of career you might have? Because really?
Well, comfort does go a long way. It does.
Well, I guess.
No doubt he will be confirmed.
I didn't want to look under that table and see if your boy had sensible shoes on. But
you are gay.
My guess is they probably were.
Yeah.
You know what I think you should do? You should do like a State of the Louisiana Hayride speech. You should come up with a speech. I mean, I think that people are waiting to hear from you. You've kind of disappeared.
Right.
I have done no such thing. But the thing is that Louisiana politics has taken really kind of a backseat for the last 6 months to the national election. I mean, it was just like the most important election of our lifetimes, which we hear every 4 years, but this time it mattered, and then it went badly. So, you refocus. And I mean, we're doing a lot of Louisiana stuff now. I mean, y'all may not have seen it because one of the things that we've definitely seen as a result, the last 6 months is like Facebook doesn't let conservative websites show up on their stuff.
Have they banned you?
No, they haven't banned us, but they suppress everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, stuff where we'd post something and it would get 1,000 shares in an hour, gets 30 shares now. And it's not that our stuff is no good. It's because we're getting, suppressed.
It's just not getting put in front of eyeballs now.
I wonder if that's our problem.
This is what they're doing. So, I mean, it's terrible.
You think that's affecting us?
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we say some.
Hi, this is Vina Nguyen, candidate for New Orleans mayor. You're invited to join me at the Save Our City rally this Wednesday, October 13th. It all takes place at Peristyle and City Park, starting at 5 p.m. Join the movement and let's take our city back.
Cantrell, you gotta go. You got a resting bitch face. You bad built. We need a pretty mirror, babe. We want you out.
It's a best of all over the road, New Orleans.
I think it's Valadez, but we can ask her for sure.
Yeah, and she's we're gonna talk about a story that's out there, and she's waiting for our phone call, so we're just gonna pop right into this thing and see if she's picking up for us. So here she is. Teddy, you go ahead and tell her what's happening.
Hello.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi. Okay, good. I was worried it was like a spam caller.
No. No spam callers here. No spam callers.
Yeah, I said if it's a person, if they call back, then it's a person. It's a human being. So that's good.
All right. Well, it's great to talk to you.
It's either a human being or a human being's butt. One of the two.
Yeah, you're right.
Brittany Valadez, ladies and gentlemen. Am I saying that right? Valadez?
Yeah, you said it right. Valadez. Anyway.
Brittany Valadez. All right, Brittany. Well, this is Ted, and then we have Vic, and we have Nick. Hey.
Ted, Vic, and Nick. Okay, perfect.
And we have a podcast. It's called All Over the Road New Orleans, the podcast. It's very popular. And Teddy reached out to you, and I was thrilled to have you on because I heard about this story. So, Teddy, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with this thing.
Yeah, I found her. I will talk about it a little bit more in depth here with the Matthew West, the Christian singer's video that caused a big hullabaloo.
Well, let's hear about some of her credentials. She's got
right. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to. This is when I came across your YouTube channel, which is called Bravely Daily. Right? How long have you had that YouTube channel?
Oh, okay. How long did I? Maybe about 2 or 3 years. So I've had the channel for a few years, but I wasn't posting consistently. Just like a random, here's my lunch for today. But I guess, with the website, I've had Bravely Daily for about, I think, going on 3 years. Tim Tebow actually introduced it, which is really cool because, great. Yeah, love Tim Tebow. He's great.
I think you dropped the name.
Man, she just pulled that right out of her back pocket like her cell phone. Man, Tebow.
No, totally wasn't name dropping. Just thought it was a really cool fact because I love the guy. He's great.
Yeah. Well, also you spent some time reporting for Fox News Latino, right, in the past?
Yes. That was great. Got to meet some cool people. Yeah, love that.
Okay, and then also say on your resume, were you with Access of Hollywood?
Oh, I interned there a few years ago.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But she's got a big following.
She's got a big following on YouTube, and when I searched this video, the Matthew West video, hers came up like right there to one of the top 2 or 3.
She knows how to work the socialist media.
She knows how to do that.
She knows how to work the socialist media.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a quick story, Brittany. This is Victor speaking. I was looking for an office space one time. And so I'm looking at all these office spaces, and I'm in this one building, and on the 3rd floor, they had the studios for Univision. Okay. And I went up there and looked at the office space and looked at and all the traffic from Univision. And I said, I can't get an office up here. There's no way. It's just not healthy. It's just not healthy.
I think I know what you're getting at.
So I went to a rundown brownstone instead with a bunch of old ladies. But anyway, I thought I just had to tell you that story.
Yeah, I'm sure. Very unattractive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I monikered you as a TMZ Plus representative because you really get in there and dig deep, don't you?
Well, okay. I would say definitely not TMZ. But what I noticed about TMZ is a lot of the stories they put out, they're always right. So they get in and at first TMZ, they look really tabloidy, but their stories, they tend to break all of them and then they're true. But with the Matthew West situation, obviously, I don't know. Were you guys able to actually see the video? Because I know they took it down.
Yeah, I did see it. As a matter of fact, I do a website for Christian radio. So I actually, I'll just tell the story real quick. On a previous episode, maybe a couple back, we did a quick little bit on the podcast here. We called it, Who's the Top 5 People You'd Like to Punch in the Face?
Yes.
It's just all in fun.
It was a great bit. My number one person was Pinkalicious. You ever heard of her? Pinkalicious?
No. Okay. No.
Yeah, well, she's a cartoon character.
Yeah.
I want to punch her in the face.
That was his number one. Well, my number one was Matthew West. But this was before this video came out, or at least I was aware of it. And the reason being, I was at a radio thing for Christian music broadcasters in Orlando, and I ran into him, right? And I was talking to him, and he was real short with me, and he kind of, he did take a picture, and he ran off.
He gave you the hook.
He kind of gave me the hook. He did take the picture, and you know what? I looked on his Facebook page, and my picture is there. Me and him.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because I tagged his name, and I guess he let it go. Like, he could have stopped it. So, anyways, my number one as a joke was Matthew West.
No, we weren't joking. I wasn't joking.
I was joking. I mean, I don't think I really want to punch Matthew West in the face, but at the time, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay. But I am over it. So, Father's Day. So, I'm on the socialist media, right? As Vic says.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends are posting links to the video. Modest is Hottest. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't heard of the song or the video by Matthew West. I guess, is it brand new? Do you know? Was it new?
Actually, it was getting so much traffic on Facebook, which I've seen from when I last saw it, over 5 million views on Facebook. And I was like, wow. And then I went to YouTube, and I think it only had about maybe 400 and something thousand. So, but it's been around for a while. Maybe I'm not sure how many months. I might not quote anything. But, I had seen it and I hadn't watched it yet because he's been putting out videos over quarantine that are just really funny. And then I said, I'll watch this video eventually. And then I passed by it, and then all of a sudden I see the story. It's headline news. I'm like, what? This video has been out for a while now. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I had the title. I was like, oh gosh, here we go.
Okay, so explain the video.
So, yeah, when I saw the video, so I did watch it. I thought it was funny. I laughed. It's satire. It's all, if you know Matthew West at all, of his style, he's like that. It's, what he does. And it was a joke. So it's about him. He is father to 2 teenage girls, and his wife as well is in the video. And it's just various scenes of him, supposedly like going over some rules for his girls. So
been there, done that.
I have all girls. Yeah. Vic's got all girls.
Been there, done that.
Nick here's father as well, though he has boys. But so it's overprotective dad. I want you to wear turtlenecks and and all this kind of stuff. It's just little scenes, all done in fun.
Right,
is how I took it.
What do I think about Matthew West's new song "Modest is Hottest"? I think it's funny. Like, obviously, it's about an overprotective dad telling his daughters, "Hey, modest is hottest."
I made a point in the video. I said Matthew is not just covering up his daughters; they're all wearing the same outfit. And the point is, though, you're right. You have to understand Matthew is a humorous person. He hosts, like I said in my video, he hosts the Kayla Fan Awards like every year because he's funny. When you go to his concerts, he comes out and the audience just cracks up. The dude is just a funny person. And then when he writes his music, he hits to the heart. Like, so many people relate. But you have this one video going out, people who've never heard of him, don't know who he is, don't know what's going on. They just want to scream, oh my gosh, how terrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, then what's the alternative? Let's go out and just listen. Some of the music for a while, the music that's out there today is like, do this and this. Like, I don't even want to say it because it's so disgusting. And I said, but they're getting awards. They're getting Grammys. They're getting MTV Movie Awards, blah, blah, blah. But you're going to shame this guy who's making a joke. And then you watch shows like SNL and other stuff like that will make jokes about Christianity, about our Savior. And you will even have, so many other offensive things, but that's okay.
What was that verse that he said? Lord, make them more like Jesus and less like Cardi B. That's funny. Like, I don't know about you, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It's a double standard.
Yeah, and if you look at his total body of work, I mean, it's plain what he's about. Hey guys, do you know that we have new all over the road New Orleans merchandising tchotchke? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, we have the brand new all over the road t-shirt. And we have the bumper car window sticker. And all you have to do to get one of those is what, Ted?
You just need to go to our Facebook page.
Okay.
All Over the Road podcast, right?
Yep. And then, Nick, what do they do in order to get the merchandising?
Send us a screenshot DM'd to our Facebook or Instagram saying that you subscribe to the show. Just a little screenshot of our podcast, whether you listen to it on Apple or Google or Spotify or any of those other little fly-by-night apps that you can listen to podcasts on.
And that's all it takes. It's that easy. It's that easy.
No
Send
excuses.
us a screenshot, get a t-shirt or a sticker. Screenshot, sticker. And keep them clean. All I want is the sticker.
And that's all he wants.
Remember, just DM us. What does DM mean?
That's a direct message.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what that is.
Listen, I was born and raised in this good old place called Louisiana. My whole family speak that country grammar from Louisiana. I heard them say that it ain't no place like Louisiana. I drive a Chevrolet in my license plate, say Louisiana. Oh, Louisiana.
This is a best of all over the road New Orleans. Past interviews and segments you may have missed.
The D in special teams, let's go. Taysom Hill. Who dat? Super Bowl champs. Let's go.
Doug Mouton from Channel 4.
Hi, Doug Mouton.
Hey, there he is.
There he
is.
1, 2, 3.
There he is.
Doug Mouton from the news.
From Channel 4. There he is.
So you just got off the air, huh?
Yeah, well, 45 minutes ago.
Okay.
All right. So what was the big story today? The big
The
sports.
historic classic is in New Orleans this week.
Wow.
Yes.
Who cares?
No, there's 10,000 people out there a day. It's like a real live event.
Are you serious?
10,000 people?
10,000 people out there?
We gotta go out there.
No. There weren't 10,000 today. Today was the Pro-Am. But they're allowing 10,000 fans a day. It's going to feel like a real sport event, which is crazy.
Yeah. So you were out there today?
I was not. I was here. But we did have a crew out
he's
there.
just talking about
How
it.
How
would you judge capacity at a golf course?
Well, they have tickets.
They count the tickets.
And I
Just
think
by tickets, but how would you, you have to have a number.
Taken.
Well, 10,000, that's great.
Just to tell you who everybody is, Doug, the young man you see there, the two guys together, that's Nick Vogel, he's the executive producer. And that's Daniel LaHare from Louisiana Lafayette. He was a baseball player. Did you ever hear him, Daniel LaHare?
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
L-A-H-A-R-E?
L-A-H-A-R-E.
Doug Mouton. Everybody in New Orleans knows who Doug is. And Doug and I go way back because we've played fantasy baseball against one another for many, many years. And Doug,
for like 30 plus.
30 plus years.
Oh, my.
30 plus. Since the early 90s, at least.
And Doug always wins. Okay, so Doug is doing fantasy baseball, and he sometimes, we do these baseball drafts, right, Doug? And it's 26 rounds.
Yeah.
And Doug's in the 20th round. He still goes, I still got 38 pitchers.
Yeah.
On my board. On his board. 38 pitchers in the 20th round.
How's that happen?
He has 20 pitchers still left.
We did the fantasy basketball league with him that one time.
Yeah, that was great.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think we stopped doing it shortly
after.
after.
I got out of the basketball league.
Yeah.
It was just, the scoring was so funky.
It was odd.
Yeah, and when Doug's out, everybody's out. That's just how it works.
I mean, I get that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I get it.
When Doug's out, everybody's out.
That was my first stab at doing fantasy basketball, and I really enjoyed it.
I did fantasy baseball 1 year, and I was having to check it every single day. It just became way.
It's not for
too
the faint
much.
of heart.
Yeah, and whenever you have 4 or 5 hour baseball games, you're trying to fit people in.
You got to see who's got more matchups during the week, who's playing 4 games, who's playing 3 games.
Oh yeah, it's all about the closers.
Yep.
In case you're just joining us, that's Doug Mouton, sports director and anchor at Channel 4 WWL. And the reason why we're having him on mainly is to talk about the NFL draft, which is coming up. And so this is our This is our all over the road New Orleans sports spectacular episode.
Oh, wow.
With Doug. Doug bailed me out today. I had no content. I called him right out of the blue, and he said, sure, I'll do it. I was surprised, Doug, that you really agreed to do it. I appreciate it.
Oh, really?
I do appreciate you being on.
Should I have big times you and said, nah.
It's not we don't normally get guests of his caliber, right? I mean, it's a big time. It's a big deal.
Caliber. No one's ever said that before.
So, so the draft's coming up. Real quick, Marcus Lattimore, who is our star cornerback, was home in Cleveland, which, there you go. I mean, I don't know if he'd admit
Not much
that,
to do out
but
there.
he's from Cleveland. The mistake by the lake. And he was allegedly, well, he wasn't allegedly, he was pulled over and he had a weapon between his legs. And what did the policeman tell him, Doug? Can you remember what the policeman?
I cannot repeat what the policeman said. Why were you trying to set me up to say that?
Yeah.
Well, the policeman said a lot of things. He said,
is that a piece between?
Do you have a weapon on you? And it went.
Marshawn said, yes, I do.
Lattimore,
He said, that keeps that thing on me.
He said to him, well, you should put it into a holster because if you don't, you might shoot off your BP.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the policeman told him.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Well,
all right.
And apparently the Doug was the weapon was stolen, right?
Yeah.
It was a stolen weapon. So is this going to be some complications with this?
There certainly could be. There could be league discipline. Yeah, absolutely. But we don't know how it's going to play out yet. The video was released today. This had happened a couple of months ago, so we sort of knew that. What kind of discipline, we don't know at this point. The NFL's discipline can be all over the board. Sometimes guys get 2 or 3 games for something you don't think they should. Sometimes they get more games for something they shouldn't. So how this plays out, it's anybody's guess at this point.
Thanks for joining us for another All Over the Road New Orleans. This week, it's a best of past interviews and segments you may have missed.
Hi, this is Vina Nguyen, candidate for New Orleans Mayor. You're invited to join me at the Save Our City rally this Wednesday, October 13th. It all takes place at Peristyle and City Park, starting at 5 p.m. Join the movement and let's take our city back.
Cantrell, you gotta go. You got a resting bitch face. You bad, Bill. We need a pretty mayor, baby. We want you out.
You speaking my language now. They say, talk to me, baby.
All Over the Road and their staff and management would like to thank you for 2 seasons embarking on season 3. Thanks from all over the road. This is the announcer guy speaking.
Well, would you speak to the people who believe it is a worthwhile vaccine and it is saving lives? Are they just dead wrong? Are they been fed a line from the federal government?
Tim, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the people that went ahead and got the jab. I speak their language. I would speak to them thusly. Bah. Bah, bah, bah. They understand that.
Get the vaccine once, you get the vaccine twice. Just when you think you're done, they say a booster would be nice. You do the Wuhan pokey and surrender all your rights, because that's what it's all about.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.